Hello. So I did a follow-up video for the binding piece. I can't remember what it was titled, but I think I promised a follow-up video with some practical guidance, and I have a special guest for this one. It is my friend and fellow Akashic reader, Greet, and her and I have been working together regularly, doing reading exchanges and playing around in the Akashic records for over a year now. And we also have another project coming up, and I'm excited for that to launch. I will let you know more when the time is right. But I hope she will be joining me again, and hopefully we'll do a little exchange on her channel as well at some point. If you'd like to contact her, the details for her website are in my description box. And I hope you enjoy this combo package. Okay, so Greet and I have our records open, our group records open. And the question that I would love for us to answer is, what are some practices to bring peace into our bodies and into our energetic fields?
I actually immediately get doing this podcast for us, apparently. But it's
Yay.
mostly, yeah, you're like, yeah, we're doing a good thing. But because it's something we're being called to, and doing the things you're being called to is actually a very healthy thing. Like fighting against something you feel you should, but not out like an society should, or
Mm.
like an expectation is like the inner pull. the, like fighting against those actually not beneficial. So going for those things, even if you're scared of it, like I know I am, and uncomfortable, more not really scared but uncomfortable, you know what I mean.
Mhm.
That is apparently one of a big thing, going where
Mm.
you feel you're being pulled towards, or daring to do what you feel and you're being pulled towards, or following those nudges of just go left already. Those.
Yeah.
This is actually my right. I'm pointing to my left. um, yeah, and like jumping into rabbit holes, and that we do, but more fluently without, and that's more aimed towards me than you, I think, without less screaming. Because I know I can sometimes be still frustrated, but sometimes I feel like that frustration is more of an old habit,
Mm.
that if I would just relax, I know it's going to be fine.
Mhm.
And that would also like being in more consciously aiming for a more relaxed state when you're in sort of like bit stress or new territory or new challenges, like more consciously relaxing in those moments is also very beneficial and costs a lot less energy.
I feel like I have this, I don't know, because we're thinking about actually posting this one. I feel like there's part of my energy that is feeling that performance anxiety. It's like it's like this energy built up is what it's feeling like in my body, like this ball of energy just spinning around. It's like, okay, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Like, let me out, let me out. So I think there is part of that. And it follows along with what you're saying, like following that pull. But like we want to put these masks on of being performers or
Mm,
wanting it to look a certain way. And when we do that, it keeps the energy pent up because we let it sort of roll around in our system for too long. And I feel like when we do that, it actually, that's when it starts, instead of like being this creative force, it starts to get all wonky, like a washing machine that has an imbalanced load. Like the
mm,
energy starts to go and get stuck in places that wasn't sort of meant to go, instead of just being that kind of quick creative outlet, it starts to go into other parts of our body and get stuck. And this is bringing me back to me, like, especially when I was younger, or like when I first started my channel, like wanting it to look perfect and say all the right things in the right order and not forget anything. And it's like that hesitancy is what causes the energy to go wonky
Mm.
instead of being that pure stream of flow. And it, like, I'm also getting like, it doesn't matter if you do anything with it or not. It's just letting it out. It's like you can
Yeah.
still hate like the first 10 or 20 or 30 videos that you do and never post it, but like let it organically come out instead of putting it into seeing just like a perfect project where you check off every box,
Mm.
is actually way better than not doing it, or keeping the energy in to until it's just right, until it's just perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're showing me like with anything, like I'm seeing somebody plant a garden that has no idea what they're doing, but they just plant it and then they figure it out as they go. Especially if they're, not depending on it for their survival. Like it's okay to play around with, planting two plants that actually don't get along in the soil very, very well or energetically. But the fact that you're doing it is a learning process. And also, um,
Yeah, because the
it's
fun
like,
part that, sorry if I jump in, but that reminds me of a friend of mine that doesn't has a garden but doesn't dare to touch it, and what she gets is weeds. She
is
don't
what,
do weeds like
weeds. Oh, yeah.
weeds. So yeah, it's just like she has plants, but really not the ones she wants or which ones she chooses, and they just go wild. She can't even walk through it. So that's actually a good metaphor for like using a garden. Like just do something, just plant something, just mow the grass or whatever, or just mow the
Hmm.
weeds for God's sake. Like keep them small,
Yeah.
just do something. It doesn't have to be perfect, but when you do something, you get something you can actually walk through. Then when you don't do anything, okay, it doesn't cost you energy. Well, not really, because it does cost you a lot of frustration. And you can't step into the garden anymore. So yeah, it's nice to know you don't have to be perfect. It's a good
Hmm.
practice in not in knowing you don't have to be perfect, actually getting comfortable in not being perfect and not having the perfect light, because we do not have the perfect recording studio either of us.
We don't. What?
Oh, sorry. Burst your bubble.
Yeah.
um,
Uh,
would be cool
yeah.
when like we have a decor and
Yeah.
everything, but
Yeah.
if I would wait for that, I'm dead before I have a YouTube channel
Yeah,
then.
me too. Yeah. Yeah. I'm also, they're bringing me back to that idea of the garden too. Is like, if you just have the garden and it's something that you really want to do, like you're gonna stay curious about, even if one of your plants dies or a whole row dies, like you're gonna want to investigate further and be like, oh, what went wrong? What can I do different? And you want to put more energy into it and play around with it. They're also bringing me back to what you said about getting frustrated. It's even like let yourself get frustrated too. And it's like, then I see somebody like pulling up the plant and like being mad and like throwing it away. And it's like it's okay to start with a clean slate too. And that's when you like can bring in, it's like helpers, just like what we're doing. Like when we read Akashic records together, it's like we trade information that is valuable for us, but it helps in other areas of our lives. It's not in just this little hour that we spend together. Or it's like bringing in someone that helps you be more patient with your plants, or helps you plant them in, a more um energetically balanced grouping. Then you take that with you into other parts of your life, that
Mm.
patience and that curiosity. So that's cool. But especially it's more potent and you put more effort into it, and it like sinks in deeper when you start with something that you care about or that you're interested in.
Mm.
It's like I see somebody taking their frustration out actually in their garden and pulling up that plant instead of doing it while they're driving and being a, you know, what do they call it?
Driver.
Yeah, the angry driver who
Yeah.
takes it out on everybody else.
Yeah, because
It's
you
like
can use frustration for if you can kind of like
channel it.
channel it into like the weeding.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're putting it into the right place, like what
Yeah.
you're frustrated at. Yeah.
And not take it out on other drivers or
Yeah.
your family or whatever.
hmm
Could you repeat that question again?
Yeah. What are some practices to bring peace into our bodies and into our energetic fields?
I'm getting not bloody care about what other people think.
Mm.
I'm getting better at that, but I would like to be lots better still.
I also get like the image they're showing me is someone like harvesting wheat in a wheat field and they're singing like they're humming a tune to themselves, but I'm getting the idea of like being okay with what our own rhythm is and finding our
Mm.
own rhythm to do things. Like it doesn't have to be the same pace or the same method as other people or how we're told to do it. And
Oh yeah.
I like I think it's bringing me back to the same or a similar energetic resonance with what you just said, but like also feeling like other people are judging you
Mm.
and letting that go. Like knowing that's just not the way I do it. That doesn't work for me and being okay with that. And then they're just showing me like all of these people working out in the field, harvesting their wheat, and everybody is playing a different, song in their headphones or humming a different tune. But like when you listen to it all together or look at it from a distance, it just looks like the most fun party. And like everybody's just enjoying themselves and the work's getting done, but it doesn't have to be like this factory farmed way where
Mm.
everything is done in perfect rows and at the same time neat and tidy. There's like it's not going to be neat and tidy.
Yeah, that's like letting go of the way it should be done and kind of like just aiming for the main goal, like the goal that everyone goes for. Because I do have to watch myself. If someone criticizes that, I still dare to go for what I'm going for, like dare to do it my way. I still have to kind of like so like kind of like how do you say it in English, grab yourself by the collar.
Mm,
Or remind myself like, oh, it's okay that they really don't like the way I'm doing it. Just keep
mhm.
on doing what you're doing. But of course, if someone has something sensible to say, but not using it as an excuse to going for the easy way and doing it their way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
and they're also bringing me back that the best way to find your rhythm is not not necessarily in a job that you don't enjoy, but it is in doing or partaking in that thing that you do really enjoy, like gardening or photographing or some other creative outlet. It feels like it's easier to kind of tune your resonance or tune your rhythm or even be aware of your rhythm when there's less pressure and you're just having fun, and then and then you can bring it into those other places where you may feel more criticism or judgment and sort of be able to hold your ground a little better.
hmm,
Yeah, were you going to say something too?
I forgot.
Oh, sorry.
If it's important, it'll come back. That's one of my mantras. If it's important, it'll come back.
Mhm.
Um, but okay, what are other practices? Yeah, they mentioned the still points in between the actions. Like you just said, like it doesn't have to
Mm.
be on the job that you're not really comfortable with or that you simply don't like doing. But then the pauses with that around it. For example, if you can go for a walk during your lunch break or in the evening, that you actually make an effort to really relax and wind down and recharge. That's can carry the rest as well if you need to be in that job for whatever reason for a while.
Mm.
That those, even the small moments, are having the big effect in the end, so you don't have to rock around like a monk 24/7. You can even be a little bit of a drama queen here and there, but that you still like have those, they call it like sort of unplugged
Mm.
moods, moments, and they don't just mean like not using your cell phone or something, but more like unplugging from society a bit like crawling into your cocoon
Mm.
as a recharge mode, and not to undervalue those moments, like even if it's like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 2 seconds here, three there. It really becomes a sum that matters a lot, because we can get stressed about not having enough unstressed time. Do
Yeah.
not stress about that.
Yeah. It's funny whenever you said like going into your cocoon and recharging, like I literally saw like we were a phone or something, like putting ourselves in a cocoon and like plugging it ourselves in and like reminding ourselves that our batteries get depleted. We can't constantly run on empty. It's like
Mm.
putting us into a little electric socket in a cocoon. Love it. Our rest nest.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think if there's anything else that the records would like to tell us, otherwise we can close here. Any last messages, records, around this?
Okay, they show me jogging. They do know I do not like jogging. But the message is you don't just need yin for that state, you also need yang. You need like
Mm,
um the workouts, the walking, and not just the going shopping and thinking you're walking, but literally going for a pretty fast paced walk, with of course what you can do with your body. But that is linked to the yin. So you need the yin and the yang for that inner health piece, and it's not just sitting down and meditating, it's getting off your butt and jog.
yeah.
That kind of feels like aimed at me.
Ditto. Yeah.
But really fast walking is good too, because I'm sometimes thinking like if I walk really fast, I must be feeling like, yeah, that's jogging too. Because if
Yeah.
I jog, it's not much faster.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Yeah.
But it's getting that, yeah, in like getting your body to sweat and like where your heartbeat goes up. And we need those states just as well as the sitting down and meditating or whatever we need to do to relax, because you can't do one without the other.
Yeah. And it's also bringing me back to that energy of like frustration, or like the energy that gets, like the imbalanced washing machine, like it helps dissipate that energy in a more aligned way, or it's almost like less harm to the outside world, even like less harm to your body,
Mm.
to help that energy, that imbalanced energy dissipate. Yeah. Oh, and they just remind me with that big breath, they're like, don't forget to breathe.
That is a big one too, yeah.
Yes, I am such a shallow breather. And I, for those that don't know, Greet knows because I just told her, but I slept outside in the yard in a tent last night and I was laying there and I just kept getting these little reminders to take a deep breath because I just felt like I was kind of holding my breath, like under the stars and being there pretty peaceful, but then like I would just get the urge to take a really deep breath and I was like, "Oh gosh, that feels good." Because that cleans energy out of our body too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And that yang energy gets our breath, makes our breath bigger for those of us who just gently inhale and exhale. Oh, so
Mhm.
gently. Yeah. Okay. All right. We will end there for today. Thank you. I think that's it. So there will probably be more. that pops up around the subject of peace and how we embody that in our lives. And so, sorry, fly on my foot. It's really annoying. Yeah, I'll post more as it pops in. So thank you, and if you're interested in readings, you know where to find me. Thanks. Bye. Baby cans, please don't eat the acorns. Thank you. Love you.